Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 10-minute text lessons with Jay. So today we're going back to our tax withholding estimator that we were on last week, okay? And so now that we have done that, we're going to start on part one filing statuses, okay? So everybody go to irs.gov and let's get started. So giving you an opportunity to do that. While you're doing that, let me just give you a little bit of information for those of you that are new here. One thing I never missed the opportunity to talk about is God. So, as always, tithe because God said so. Also, it could be tax deductible. Want to know more about that? Check out our podcast, Tax Talk with Jay. We have them uploaded on our YouTube channel as well as on Spotify. Okay. All right. So, basically we're here just to kind of give people more information about their tax liability, how to reduce it, and just kind of get you guys in there when it comes to doing your taxes and understand the different parts of them. Okay. All right, let's see here. Now, all of my information comes from irs.gov, everybody. irs.gov. I need you to understand that. I'm not going to pull any information from anywhere else. I know I have tax certification courses, but I do not pull the information from those courses for these classes. So if you want that information, more than happy to give it to you, more than happy for you to take the comprehensive tax course, but please don't think you're getting the same thing, okay? In this series, we're breaking down that tax withholding estimator. So if you want to know more about that, please go to irs.gov, click in the search bar and type in tax withholding estimator, and that'll come up. You can go ahead and complete that. If you need more help, go to our previous lesson, and we kind of got to walk through on how to use that there, okay? So now we're going to start our series, and we're going to be breaking down each part. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. Now, with that being said, let's see. There we go. All right. So with that being said, what we want to look at is the IRS website. That's where we want to start. Okay. Did you know that there are tax courses available on the IRS website? So we're going to go to irs.gov and type in understanding taxes. When you go there, you're going to see the picture on the bottom right hand corner. It says understanding taxes. It's purple. It's recommended by IRS. That's what you're going to click. Okay. You're going to click that in the bottom right hand corner. Okay. Now, let me see if I can get my little laser pointer. There we go. All right. So right here, this is what you're going to click. Understanding taxes. Okay. Now, once you click there, what I'm pulling from is the teacher portion. You can pull from the student portion. Okay. Once you go through those student activities, you can come back here for the lectures, just a little bit of information as we go forward. But that's where I'm pulling most of my information from as I go through each portion of this tax withholding estimator, and I break it down for you. Okay. Now let's continue going. Now, once we go through here, just a reminder of where you get everything. We're gonna go ahead and start because this is a 10-minute lesson, baby. 10-minute lesson. We already 3 minutes in, so let's go. Filing statuses. There are five. There are five filing statuses, guys. Single, married filing jointly, which I recommend. Married filing separately, which I do not recommend just because of the amount of money it costs you. Head of household, big provider, and qualifying widower. You have my condolences. All right, so we're gonna start with single. Now, what I want to do to make this easier on everybody is I want you to concentrate on your current situation. That's what I want you to concentrate on, your current situation. Imagine this December 31st, because I'm setting you up for the upcoming tax year. Imagine this December 31st. I want you to ask yourself these questions if you believe that you file in the single status. Did I get married or remarried? If you got married on any day of this year, up to December 31st, baby, you was no longer filing single. Don't you put that on your taxes? I'm so sorry, Miss Independent, Mr. Independent. You is now married, and y'all need to figure it out, okay? Did you get legally separated under a decree of divorce or separate maintenance? Now, different states, different shakes, okay? You can figure it out for yourself. But there are places you either have to be legally separated. Everybody does not recognize it. When I got divorced, I was living in South Carolina. South Carolina did not recognize legal separation. You had to be able to provide proof that you lived in separate households for a year in order for them to grant you a divorce. That was a couple of years ago. Not sure if it's still like that, but yeah, that's where it was. So all states do not recognize legal separation. When they say legal separation, they don't mean be able to prove it. They mean you need to have the court documents to go with it, okay? Did I become a widow before January 1st of this same year? Now, the reason that this question is important is because that's a whole nother filing status. You would think, yeah, because my partner passed away, I'm single. No, that's a whole nother filing status, baby. So no, that's not how that goes. So if all of these questions are no, and that's a big word, and you have no dependents. If you got dependents and all of these answers are no, you don't file single. You missing out on money, okay? So if you don't have no dependents, and the answer to all of these are no, your filing status is single. I'm sorry, pay Uncle Sam that money, baby. Pay him that money. You ain't gonna be able to get out of it. Go ahead and pay Uncle Sam that money, okay? Now, next we're going to go to married filing jointly. On December 31st, ask yourself, because some of us are not clear. I've worked on jobs where, they fill out the application and say, are you married? Yes. Ain't filed a marriage certificate or nothing. Just been with this person for the last 7 years. No, that's not how it works, okay? Not in all states. I think common law marriage is 10 years. 10 years. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're marking on paperwork, living there. I'm from South Carolina. So we had some people that were common law married, but you have to be able to prove that, okay? Are my spouse and I two individuals who live together in a common law marriage, or did we go ahead and sign that paperwork and make it legal, okay? Things to ask yourself. The answer to this question is yes. You are qualified to file married filing jointly, whether you got dependents or not. Because y'all are married or common law married, recognized in these states, you qualify for married filing jointly, okay? Now, let's say you with that person. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going before I jump the broom. Did my spouse die during the year? That is a very big thing. Or have I not yet remarried? And I have not yet remarried. I'm sorry, not or. So if your spouse passed away during the year and you have not yet remarried, you would think that's qualifying widower. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm explain why later, okay? No, it's not. If they did not, pass away that year, you know what I'm saying, then, we're still qualified to do married filing jointly, okay? If they did pass away this year, you have to have not gotten remarried, okay? If you remarried, that's a whole nother person, baby. We ain't even talk about that no more. We ain't even in qualifying widower. You ain't even there no more. You can't even go there, okay? So we're talking about just if your spouse passed away and you have not yet remarried. Now, filing joint taxes makes you both responsible for required tax payments. That means if they have an offset, they owe child support, they opened the business wrong, didn't pay taxes, baby, that's on both of y'all. So make sure y'all remember that, but understand that this filing status gives you the lowest tax rate, okay? Okay. Now, married filing separately. I am not a fan. I don't encourage people to do this unless, let's ask yourself this question on December 31st. You got to be real with yourself, okay? Do I want to be responsible for my spouse's tax liability? Hey, maybe you told them not to open that LLC and they opened it anyway. And them taxes is kicking their tail. Hey, man, you did that. I didn't do that this year. Baby, don't take the whole family down with you. Let me go ahead and claim this refund. So I'm going to go ahead and file a married filing separately, and I'm claiming these kids, okay? Okay, different strokes for different folks. I just want to make sure y'all got all the information. This is the highest tax rate of the married filing statuses because both of you are basically taxed as single. Whew, whew, we all been taxed as single, baby. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. All right, let's go. Now, head of household, big provider. Big money maker. Okay, am I unmarried or considered unmarried because I live in a state that does not recognize common law marriage, or I haven't made it to the common law marriage mark, and provide more than half the cost of keeping up a home for a qualified person for more than half of the year? That means more than half of the year. Now, a qualified person doesn't have to be a child. That's what's wild, right? Qualified person does not have to be a child. It can be a parent, and the parent does not have to live with you. Will we go over qualifying dependents? Yes. Will it be today? No, it'll be next week because that's a lot of information, okay? Now, qualifying widower. Remember these questions we were asking during the single phase, during the head of household phase, well, not head of household, during the married filing jointly phase. These questions come back here. So, December 31st, ask yourself if you are entitled to file a joint return with your spouse for the year your spouse died, okay? So, if you usually file married filing jointly and your spouse has passed away, you still have the right to claim that. And I'm going to break that down for you in the next slide on what you can do in each year because it kind of spans on different things you can claim. Now, qualifying widower with a dependent. That's the part that's missing off the slide. Qualifying widower with a dependent. If you don't have a dependent, this is not for you. This is qualifying widower with a dependent. Okay? Now, ask yourself, were you widowed in this current year or the prior year? It matters. Do you have a child, not a parent, a child for whom you can claim an exemption? Has this child lived in your home all year except for temporary absences? You paid more than half the cost of keeping up a home for the entire year. Okay, let's break this down. Why are we breaking it down? Because there are rules. There we go. Year of death, married filing jointly or marrying filing separately. You have the option to do either or for the year of death, okay? But if you are the authorized representative, and if you don't know what that is, go ahead and go to our podcast, episode 1, and we have that information in there for you in great detail. You need to make sure you get all of their taxes filed. If y'all have been filing separately all these years, make sure they didn't miss any years, okay? First year after death, qualifying widower with dependent child is what you can qualify for. If you have that dependent child first year after death, that's what you're going to file. Second year after death, you can still claim that, okay? Don't be walking around here trying to, you can still claim that, okay, as long as you have that dependent child. Now, third year and subsequent years after, head of household or single. Now, people are saying, why would you go single if you have a child? Because sometimes people get married and the spouse brings a child with them. And so it may take you that spouse, the child's other parent may decide they want that child back. If they have the child, they take care of the child. So that means that they file the child on their taxes. So that's what may push you back down to single or head of household. So first or second year after death, that's something that you'll have to work out with the child's parent on whether or not you're going to be claiming them. And when I say parent, I mean biological parent. Y'all, please do not eat me alive. This is for tax purposes only. I know bonus parents are amazing. I thank God for you all. I pray that I get one of my own. But we are talking about tax purposes. And tax purposes, we're talking about biological parents. So please don't try to eat me up in the comments. If you do, I'm going to delete it anyway because I said what I said. But I mean that with all due respect. We're talking about biological parents. And that's just where it goes. Because you have to, I'm sorry, that's where the sword comes down. When it comes down to that and that spouse has passed away, you may or may not be able to keep that child. And it's heartbreaking tax-wise. You may not be able to keep that child. We're only talking about taxes here. We're not talking about anything else. We're only talking about taxes, guys. Okay? Okay. Now, this has been 10-minute tax lessons with Jay. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. And I want you to know, if you have any questions or you just need a little bit more information, please make sure you reach out to us. Catch us next week when we come back and talk about those qualifying dependents, okay? Love you guys. Take care.